In the country of Canada, in the province of British Columbia, on southern Vancouver Island, in the Capital Regional District, in the municipality of Central Saanich, paradise is threatened. OCP, Official Community Plan. RGS, Regional Growth Strategy. UCB, Urban Containment Boundary. All of the above are attempts by the citizens of the South Island to limit the damage caused by uncontrolled urban sprawl. The OCP, RGS, and UCB have resulted from a lot of work by hundreds of engaged citizens over many years, costing hundreds of thousands of dollars. Such plans are not to be lightly dismissed. In Central Saanich, a citizen is attempting to undermine all three. He is Ian Vantreight, daffodil farmer and developer. Mr. Vantreight is proposing a large residential development on 13 hectares. This development is entirely inappropriate in the context of the OCP, RGS, and UCB. He is attempting to circumvent the OCP. He spent over $9,000 in the last municipal election, in part financing the successful candidacies of councillors Siklenka and Kubek. These councillors vote in favor of the development. Central Saanich OCP. Central to the philosophy of the plan is to retain, protect, and enhance the current rural village character of Central Saanich, its agricultural land base, and environmentally sensitive areas, while allowing for modest, low-impact growth within the established urban settlement area. OCP Bylaw number 1600.
An official community plan is the document by which a community lays out its visions for the future and clearly sets its objectives. It's a land use planning document that is used as a policy manual to inform later decision making. It contains those protections that are necessary for discouraging growth in sensitive areas and encouraging growth in areas where it would be smart to have that growth and development.
Central Saanich OCP. The rural character of Central Saanich should be sustained. Future growth should be focused within the established urban settlement area within the municipality. OCP Bylaw number 1600.
So the official community plan, as I understand it, was developed with the last council. Citizens put in hundreds of hours of thought, meetings, to try to determine how do they want Central Saanich to look. And this official community plan ended up with clear areas designated for residential development in Brentwood Bay and in Saanich, with clear areas designated for light industry, which is your Keating Cross Varennes Industrial Park, and then the rest of the region to be left as rural. And that was the wish of the community.
Central Saanich OCP. Infilling and intensification of existing residential areas is strongly preferred over extending new services to undeveloped areas. OCP Bylaw number 1600.
The issue about official community plans or OCPs that are developed before the present council is in place, these plans are in place generally for 5 years before there's a review. So yes, succeeding councils should be abiding by the official community plan that was developed with thousands of volunteer hours by residents of the community and thousands of dollars by the municipality to develop a plan that would really look after the interests of the majority of the people in the community, and also with some eye to the future, the adjacent communities of, say, Saanich and North Saanich, and also the whole Capital Regional District, because we all have a responsibility to maintain this as a livable region. The
Central Saanich official community plan is widely considered by planners and municipal lawyers in BC is one of the strongest, one of the most progressive plans that exists. It's concise, it's thorough, it has a very strong vision in it, and it very clearly lays out what its goals and objectives are over the long term.
So the official community plan then would limit the ability to set up a factory on farmland, to set up a factory in Saanich. It would limit the ability of developers to acquire farmland and build housing on the farmland, to build condominiums on farmland. The idea is to have regulation.
Central Saanich official community plan defines this land as rural. And it's all adjacent to the agricultural land reserve, and in fact, to access this land, areas would have to be taken out of the ALR for access roads, and I think they've been working on that. But this is defined as rural.
An urban containment boundary is a boundary that is drawn in a municipality beyond which only large lots are allowed, no water, no sewers, so it discourages dense development, urban sprawl.
All of us who live in the Capital Regional District cherish the natural environment that is so essential to our quality of life, and we are determined that it never be compromised. RGS, Regional Green Blue Spaces Vision.
Our regional growth strategy concept came out of legislation brought in by the former Minister for Municipal Affairs, Darlene Mazzari, in 1992. And then we started a consultative process with the residents of the region. And of course, obviously, the municipalities of the region were all involved.
All the municipalities have signed on to the regional growth strategy. And in doing so, they had to establish, with a regional context statement, where the urban containment boundary should go.
The RGS is a 25-year program which includes keeping urban settlement compact, protecting the integrity of rural communities, avoiding urban sprawl, regional growth strategy.
Well, as a CRD director for Saanich Municipality, I was delighted to be asked to vice chair a committee to set up and formulate a regional growth strategy. The main purpose of the regional growth strategy, of course, was to preserve farmland, to preserve green spaces, to create urban containment boundaries, for example, to prevent sprawl, urban sprawl, to adhere to the major principle of sustainability, of acting in a sustainable way for future generations.
Rural communities should grow moderately and slowly, consistent with existing official community plans. Regional growth strategy.
And so it's really important that the regional growth strategy is upheld, and Central Saanich established that. And it was Tanner Ridge, and it was Brentwood, and Saanichton, and all the areas outside were to remain rural. And you've got significant agricultural lands that are real benefit to everybody on not just the Saanich Peninsula, but the whole Capital Regional District.
In Central Saanich, their OCP certainly did state many of the principles of the regional growth strategy in terms of preventing urban sprawl, preserving agricultural land, because of course Central Saanich has some of the best farmland on South Vancouver Island.
What this issue is really about is an old family of farmers that have owned this land. They used to call it Longview. And they moved their major operation out from Gordon Head in the 80s to here. And they developed their Gordon Head properties in order to be able to afford to make this move. And Ian and his brother, Michael, had a lot to do with that development of the Gordon Head properties. I think they enjoyed it immensely, especially Ian Vantreight.
The Vantraights had incredible agricultural land holdings in Saanich and Gordon Head. All of that land is now gone. It was allowed to go into housing. So they've already made a bundle on agricultural land, quite frankly, this family.